Mabuhay, or in Kapampangan, luwid kayo. Today's question came all the way from Saudi Arabia. Modzna Abdullah, a native of Ligan City, Philippines who now lives in Saudi Arabia, asked, was the Philippines a Muslim country before it was colonized by different countries? The short answer? Yes and no. Yep. Yes and no. Let's start with no. Why? Because the Philippines back then, well, there was no Philippines back then. The country that we now call the Philippines was a diverse collection of different people, of different states, of different cultures, of different languages, of different ethnicities before it was colonized. It's similar to how Indonesia today was not really one Indonesia before Europeans came over to colonize the islands. And yes, there's a lot of similarities between the Philippines and Indonesia that a lot of people do not know about, especially in the Philippines. So yeah, similar to Indonesia, before the Philippines became the Philippines that we know of today, before it was colonized and named the Philippines, the islands, all 7,000 islands, was pretty much divided into different nations, different cultures, different languages, different ethnicities that coexisted with each other. They were connected, but it wasn't one nation. It was a collection of different but beautiful and colorful nations that we need to recognize today. And yes, parts of the Philippines or these islands and its pre-colonial societies back then, before Europeans came over, were Muslim. And not just in the Mindanao. Most people know how Islam has had a strong presence throughout Mindanao's history. Mindanao is the second largest island in the southern part of the Philippines, the southern third of the Philippines. But what a lot of people do not know is that other parts of what is now the Philippines, other parts of the islands, were also Muslim. For example, today's capital city, Manila, in the northern island of Luzon. Today, Manila is the center of the Catholic faith, of the Christian Catholic faith in Asia. But it was once a Muslim walled city called Maynilad before the Spaniards conquered it. So when the Spanish conquistadors took over Maynilad, they literally built the colonial walled city of Intramuros de Manila, literally right on top of the old Muslim walled city called Maynilad. And it wasn't just Maynilad that was a Muslim community in Luzon before Europeans came over. Even in the early part of the colonization, there were parts of Luzon that were also Muslim. In fact, many pre-colonial Kapampangan communities were also Muslim. For example, during the epic battle of Bangkusay back in 1571, 446 years ago, around 2,000 Muslim Kapampangan warriors from the independent states of Macabebe and Hagonoy fought against the Spanish conquistadors. It was an epic naval battle that not much people know of today, that even the Europeans did not expect to encounter in what is now Southeast Asia. So if you want to learn more about this naval battle of epic proportions, I actually made a video about it last year and you can check it out at the end of this video. So yes, Islam has had a significant presence not just in the island of Mindanao but also in different parts of the archipelago. Although today the image of Islam and being Muslim in the Philippines has been tainted by violence, by misunderstanding, by generations of oppressions and discriminations and endless stereotypes. It is important for us today to be open in understanding Islam, especially within our own communities, within our own roots, beyond the anti-Muslim propaganda, because we share a lot with them and they're part of our own roots, of our own histories. And it is only through recognizing all these injustices that has happened to different people can we only achieve justice. And like what we say, without justice, there can be no peace. So yeah, that is it for me today. I hope I answered your question. And if any of you got questions about topics that you feel like I have the knowledge or the wisdom to answer, feel free to ask me. Feel free to ask Kirby. See you next time. Or in Tagalog, kita kits, and in Kapampangan, ni kitiks. Bye!